Well, hello. I finally made it back from Walmart. I had time to cook a little something and grab a bite to eat and drink some water. So, I was watching two people on YouTube talking about women who date broke men, and I actually have experience with that. So, although, like, the way they were saying it on their YouTube channel, like, it's not a good idea to date a broke man or whatever. I try to overlook stuff like that I see in people, especially when I was younger. Because when I was in my 20s, I actually dated two people who were broke. And I also dated two people who were not broke. They had good jobs, but they was just stingy when it come to their money. I'ma just keep it real. And they was dating me. So the first experience that I experienced with a man who was broke that I was dating, I met this guy. We exchanged numbers. I forgot how we met. This guy was handsome. He was good looking, but he didn't have no money. He didn't have shit. He lived with his parents. And one night before he took me home, we stopped at Burger King. And I'm thinking he's about to pay for me a meal. This nigga gonna say, well, I don't have nothing but $5 on me unless you want to add some money on to the $5 so that I can get you something to eat. And you could imagine how that made me feel. I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, you only have $5, but I didn't dwell on it. I said, because I had $20 on me, and I said, okay, I'll just pay for my meal with this. And then he had the audacity to ask me, could I get him a dollar burger? I went on and did it, but the fact of the matter is that that's embarrassing. That's humiliating. And then the lady at the window, the cashier, standing there looking at us and listening to our business, and I didn't want no attention drawn to us as enough as it was, and I already felt embarrassed, and I don't like to be embarrassed. So I just went on ahead, bought his dollar burger, and I bought what I was going to buy me, and I just let that go. But from then on, every time he would come and pick me up to go spend time with him at his dad's house, I don't know. He was just broke. He broke all the time. So it wasn't a lot of times that I could ask him, could you stop and get me a Subway sandwich, or could you stop here and, I'm hungry and this and that. I just try to avoid asking him because he always acted like he didn't have no money. And that's like humiliating enough as it is. That's fucked up. Okay, so this next guy, who I actually went to school with, and this guy was a boyfriend to me in high school. He and I was not dating, but he and I had reconnected, and he had a car, so he came to see me. So I had asked him to drive me to the nearest McDonald's. And he drives me to the nearest McDonald's. And then before the lady could open the window to ask me what my order is, again, it's like deja vu. I'm waiting on him to be like, okay, what is it that you want? I got you. I'm gonna pay for it. And I look at him. I say, you have some money? He's like, no. I'm like, if you ain't have no money, how you get gas money to come all the way over here to see me? That's crazy. And luckily, because I kept a job back then, I had some money. So I'm like, well, he's like, can you give me something too? And I'm looking at him like, I looked behind me like he was talking to somebody else. I'm like, huh? But I said, what is it that you want? What you want? Because at first I said I was getting a combo meal that I was gonna pay for out of my money. Tell me why this nigga gonna say he want the same thing that I'm getting. So I'm like, okay. Next thing I knew, I said, you could drive me back home. I said, I don't want nothing. Because first of all, I was not going to pay for him to get nothing to eat. I wasn't going to do it. And the second time around, deja vu, hell no. I was not going to pay for his meal. And then he had the audacity when he dropped me off home to say, well, can I spend the night? I'm like, no. No, you cannot spend the night. Call me when you get home. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye. Because they just turned me off. And I just never forget. Those are two broke dudes that I dated for a short period of time who never had no damn money. So the guys in my life who did have money because they had a good job and they was making like $20 an hour. One of them in particular is a guy that I did a story time about who had a good job, but he just was stingy. He was stingy, but he would give me money and he would buy me something to eat. It was not a problem. Now, his only problem was he was always cheating on me. He was cheating on me left and right, and I would just put up with it. I don't know. Don't ask me why. At 23 that I just sat around and let this dude treat me like that. I guess I was in love with him, but that's another situation. So, another dude that I dated, he had money all the time because he had a good job, but he was stingy. And his name was Chris. And I recently did a story time about him also. I met him when I went out of town with my dad back in the year 2000. And when I went to Baytown with my dad, and our car stopped on the road, and that's how me and Chris met. But he would come, me and him, he had only took me out on 3 dates. He took me to the movies to see that movie with Ice Cube and Mike Epps, All About the Benjamins. He took me to Red Lobster, and he took me to a Chinese restaurant. So those were the 3 dates, but he never did ever put money in my hand. And he would like, anytime at the end of me spending the day with him at his house, and I would ask him, oh, could you go stop to Burger King or somewhere? And because I was hungry, he would make up something. I mean, he would give me something to eat, but he would play games and say he was broke when he wasn't broke. But anyway, those are 2 dudes that in my life that I dated, but they had money, but they just was stingy and didn't want to give me any money or spend any money on me. And then the 2 other dudes who have the fucking audacity to ask me, could I take my money and get them a $1 burger or a combo burger and fries. I was done. I didn't date them for long, because I'm like, okay, I feel like this is going to become a pattern where it's going to keep happening. So the only thing that I can come up with from watching the YouTube channels of these people who, it was a woman who says never to date broke men, or a guy who's broke, and it was a man who said never date a broke man. And they're right. Not saying that a man have to be rich or a celebrity in order to date me or an average woman. But at the same time, it's like, you have a car, you have a vehicle, so why you don't have any money to stop somewhere to give me something to eat? Or if we're at a restaurant, why are you asking me to pay half? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I don't have those problems anymore, because I'm not dating anyone, and I'd rather be single than to go through that shit again that I went through in my 20s with broke men in my life who I was dating. But that's all I have to vent about for now. I may come back later with a story time, or I may do a mannequin hair tutorial or a makeup tutorial or something. But I will have another video for y'all later on. Right now, I'm about to go in my kitchen and finish cooking. And I will talk to y'all later.